Hi, this is the final video in the Google Ads course that I've put together. If you're looking for the other videos of this, then go into the playlists below or somewhere on the screen. Also, there's a link to my website if you want to get in contact in the description below, as well as the table of contents for the other videos. So this video is going to be actually quite short because I do have a good video already on my website or on this YouTube channel. But we're going to be talking about real briefly the tasks involved in management for campaign optimization and scaling. So what is optimization and what is scaling? Optimization is focusing your campaigns on the highest performing aspects. So this is improving efficiency, essentially narrowing the wide net that you cast when you first made your campaign on only the things that are producing the best results. Then scaling is going to be expanding on those things that are producing the best results to get more of that. So that's going to be increasing volume. These are like two different phases of your advertising. So these are all the things that a ad manager is going to do with your account. First is going to be they're going to be looking through search terms reports, and it seems menial or it seems trivial or mundane, and it is. It's one of my least favorite things to do, but it's really important because Google's keyword tracking or targeting is just so broad at this point that they can show to a lot of bad searches. And so you need to constantly be looking through search terms reports and noticing any things that you need to negate. So you want to be negating keywords. Plus, you also want to be looking for opportunities to add keywords that are maybe triggered by a phrase match, but you could just add in as an exact. It's just a longer version of it and get a little bit more specific. So if it's a longer version of a phrase, just add it into that ad group as an exact match if it has high intent. You can also look for specific keywords as well as keyword match types that are pulling in a lot of the trash traffic. So you can either negate all that traffic as it comes, or you can just turn off that keyword. So you want to look for patterns of that too, and you're looking for the keywords that you want to be turning off mostly. And then you want to be, instead of you might not turn off the keyword, but you might lower bids or pause them. So keep that in mind. Like you might not pause outright, but maybe you lower the bid on it. Now that's if you're doing manual bids. So in the early stages, you might do that. But eventually, once you switch to automated bidding, you just pause that low performer or bring it into its own ad group or campaign. So you're also going to be lowering spends / pausing low performing ad groups, similar to the keywords. So you're seeing ad groups that are just not bringing in the right keywords or not performing at the right level as the other ad groups or campaigns. And in which case you want to prioritize lowering spends first on that ad group or bids and before pausing, ideally. But eventually, if it's just not turning things around, then just pause it. And once again, you'll see most of this is negative first. You want to negate first rather than adding. Once again, you do the same things for campaigns. You want to look at campaigns and say, okay, which campaign is producing better results for me based off of what you're shooting for? Is it volume of leads or cost per conversion? In the early stages, that's kind of what you're looking for. And you can lower budget on one of the campaigns that is underperforming and put more budget towards the one that is overperforming. This is called budget allocation. So you're just allocating more to what works. Adding positive and keyword variants, I've already talked about that. So that's you looking for the search terms and finding other variants that you want to add in. Maybe you add in another ad group. You might find something popped up and it probably maybe it deserves its own ad, in which case you make another ad group. Or maybe through research or talking to your colleagues or whatever, you found that there's actually other verticals you want to target. So pause and replace low performing ads. So this is what we talked about in the ad section for split testing, where you want to pause the low performing ad, replace with a new headline, 1, 2, 3, or a description, but ideally you're testing the H1 or H2, and then take all those, put them in an unpinned responsive third ad, which has all of your prior headlines in it. And so this is the best way to test a lot of different headlines fast. And to have control over what those headlines are, because Google is taking away a lot of that control. So you can keep it by doing it this way. Add long tail exact match keywords, as I mentioned before, looking through search terms reports, and then just adding in the long tail versions as exact matches will help you to get a bit more specific, might help with your quality score. Upgrade bid strategies, so you're changing from manual to automated in which you're optimizing around variables that are further in your marketing. So like you go manual to automated clicks to automated leads to automated revenue. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, then go look at the structure video, the account build structure. Add negative bid adjustments to low performing devices. That's one of the first ones that you can do. And oftentimes you'll find that mobile or computer have a variation in how well they do. So you might want to start with negative bid adjustments of like 15-20% at a time. Times of days, geographies, demographics, and psychographics. So you want to look through all that, and you can put negative bid adjustments on any and all that stuff. And so with times of day, ideally you split up your times of day, as we spoke about earlier on in this series, into like 6 different parts of that day rather than a one full day, so that you can do like from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. You do like a positive on that, because you know that those convert a lot. People are looking in the early stage of the day, but then the middle stage where it's like 10:30 to 12, you get bad results, so you put a negative bid adjustment there. But as stated, you kind of want to err on negative first and then positive later. So then you want to start adding positive bid adjustments. Then running and concluding ad experiments. A good thing to do with an ad experiment is just testing, upgrading your bid strategy. So if you go manual and you want to upgrade to maximize clicks enhanced, you can do another campaign as an experiment and just change the bid strategy on that and just run that for a while to see if it performs better. If it does, then just conclude that experiment. So that's a good way to upgrade your bidding strategies. Now for scaling tasks, what you can do obviously is just increase budget in your bidding. So if you are at like 30% search impression share, which is about like 30% of your total market share of the searches, then just increase your budget by like double. And what you can do is you can pause that campaign, copy that campaign, paste it, make it double in budget, and then make sure that you're only running the winning ad groups, the winning keywords, etc. And this is something that will set you back a little bit in the short term, because quality score is based off of the history of that campaign. So if you build up a lot of data on a campaign, the quality score is going to improve over time. So you don't want to do this too much, but in the early stages it's fine, because you want to get campaigns that have a really clean history of data, rather than your testing campaigns in the early stages in which you're just like making a lot of changes, and in the early stages maybe you're getting a lot of trash clicks. You're casting a wide net, and then you want a winner campaign that doesn't cast a wide net. It's just all the stuff that you know is working. Then horizontal keyword expansion. This is basically like shoulder phrases. In the example that we used before with property management versus Airbnb management, Airbnb management or short-term management keywords were more specific to what our niche business, hypothetical business, was targeting. So you could open it up a bit more by also targeting property management. This can be done, let's say dentistry, you're only targeting general dentistry. You can expand by also targeting or promoting some of your specialties like implants or Invisalign. Then you can expand obviously through remarketing campaigns, display, YouTube, Gmail. And then you can expand even further by customer match lists, leads, customers, whales. Whales is just people who spend a lot of money, so the customers that spent a lot. And this customer match list can be used in audience signals, once again, for YouTube or display, and even like Facebook. So those systems or those platforms can find new people that are similar to these lists that you're giving them. And then at the very end, you can really just amp things up with automated campaigns such as Performance Max, which will be based off of those customer lists as well. So you want to take the leads, customers, whales, and plug that into your PMax campaign and just let Google take the wheel from there. And that's really the end state. You can still run your manual campaigns at that time and just kind of split test in a way, although it's not a traditional split test, your manual stuff versus the PMax. But yeah, once you get to that point, it will be very hands-off. There's still some management tasks to do, but that is the overall goal. So I know I've rushed through this management portion. I'm trying to stay away from actually showing any sort of client information on the back end, just because I think there's some problems with legality with that. So I'm only showing high-level information and talking about the tasks that are going to be involved in both the management and the scaling to help you guys understand what you're hiring for when you're hiring a contractor for this. So that is it for this Google Ad course. Hopefully it was helpful. I know that this was not edited the same way that some of my prior videos were. It just is very tiring to make videos like that, so I just wanted to get this information out there because my perfectionistic tendencies were kicking in and I was just really struggling to get this out. So hopefully it's useful regardless. This is basically like a consultation call with me. And if you liked it, please give a like. Please subscribe, comment. It helps the algorithm. And maybe I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to consider whether I want to make more videos on Google Ads or pivot into something else. I'm kind of interested in AI as well as NFTs and blockchain stuff, so I might move in that direction. So maybe I'll see you guys soon, and take care. Cheers.